Assalamualaikum, brothers. Would you mind if you please everybody come here so they can focus on you? Is this way he has to travel a lot. You know, gas is expensive, so we don't want him to move around. So please come closer so you guys all be in his focus. Amjad, you can also come this way. Say so. Okay, I'll give you extra chair to support on it.
It's just the monitor is small, so it will not be a problem.
Yeah, so brother is having a registration, the sign-up sheet. If you want to give your email, some contact number, you know, they cannot explain everything in this short presentation. Later, you can contact them, get all the information. Feel free, no charge for it. So inshallah, even signing up, you will get a reward for it. I'm very positive because it's all riba-free, it's Islamic concept that they're trying to explain here. And just so you know it, alhamdulillah, I'm a beneficiary of this project. Again, I'm not trying to promote Cresecent, but I'm trying to promote riba-free initiative, you know, interest-free initiative. So inshallah, I sleep with a peace of mind. My house is riba-free, alhamdulillah. I struggled for 10 years. So then finally, alhamdulillah, thanks to Crescent people, you know, about 2 years ago, alhamdulillah, I got my home free. So the remaining, Brother Saif and the whole team will explain you how it works. Jazakallah. So you good to go?
Yep.
Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum. Everyone can hear me fine? Okay, good. So first of all, I would like to thank the management of the, that mic? He wants that. Hello?
Closer to try it on it. Here, so that
Let's close this one. Hello. Is this better? Okay, thank you. So, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I would like to thank the management of the this masjid to give us a chance to host us here. I would go through the presentation. It's about 20-25 minutes, and we will have the Q&A after the presentation or after the salah, inshallah. So, agenda for today is basically I will go through about our organization, Crescent, about investment in general, not just with Crescent, but generally why investment and how, what kind of investments are there, what are the options out there for Muslims, what is our business model, how it really works. Then I will go through our journey so far, where we started and where we are now, and then we will have Q&A. So that is it. So let's start with about the organization. We started in 2011. A band of brothers came together and they decided that there was a need in the community for a true Islamic home financing option. So we started then. It's a for-profit company. Some people think that it's a 501c, it's a charity organization. It's not. It's a for-profit company. We are here to make profit. The company is established under the guidance of Islamic scholars. We took some attorneys' help to frame some of the contract stuff. We also contacted Ansar Housing in Toronto. They have the model which is running for them. They are much bigger than us. So we got guidance from them about how to lay out the different structures. We provide a halal, a safe halal investing option out there. We are currently focused on home financing. That's the one product that we have as of now. And it's a 100% volunteer-owned organization. None of us here. Yes.
You said it is for profit.
Mm-hmm.
Then why it is running on volunteer basis? No.
It is running for volunteer basis because we don't have people who will actually are on payroll. What I'm trying to say is that the organization is for profit, yes, for sure, but it's not generating enough profit for us to have people on payroll. So it has to run on volunteer basis, like we are working as a volunteer as of now. So I mean, you can have an organization which is run on volunteer basis and it's self-profit. Some of the members that we have is Sheikh Abdul Rahman, Sheikh Abdul Rafa from the Adams Main Center. We have Abdul Rahman from Quba Center. We have somewhere in your community, Brother Shahid, he was trying to introduce here. So he is also a member and a beneficiary of the home financing too. So let's talk about the business model. So we have the Crescent business model has basically two phases to it. There is an investing side and there is a financing side. I will go through the investing side first because you need the money to do anything. So I'll talk about that, and then I'll talk about the financing side. How does the financing really work? Before I go to that, I want to just talk in general about like why one should invest. We have this sometimes a thought that if you want to save money, just keep it under the mattress and that's kind of safe. But if you do that, then obviously the inflation will eat up the value of the money. And that, especially in the last 1 or 2 years, we have seen how inflation has reduced the value of the money. Something which was like, let's say a gallon of milk was $3, now it is $4 or maybe even more than that. So the value of your money is reducing. To keep up with that, you need to invest. And with investments can be of different types. You can invest in gold, you can invest in real estate, you can invest in sukuks, bonds, you can invest in mutual funds, you can have different types of investment, right? So I just want to lay out like where we are, what kind of investments we are, right? There's investment in Bitcoin too. Like there are different types of investment. I just want to lay out the landscape of it. To do that, let's talk about investments, like how do you categorize it, right? I mean, we can categorize things by different ways. Like people sitting here in this room, I can categorize them by the type of car they drive, or by the color of their shirt, right? Or by their gender, different ways of categorizing. Here I'm trying to categorize by the investments by risk type. So there's high risk investments and low risk investments. If you have high risk, you have high return, no doubt about it. If you are low risk, you get low return. That is the nature of how things work. Within high risk, you have non-Sharia compliant one, which we cannot really invest as a Muslims. We have some Sharia compliant one. If you have that kind of appetite for it, yeah, go for it, no problem. But within the Sharia compliant and within the low risk, low return investments, that's where Crescent sits, like here, kind of the investment we provide. You also see that we have some other mutual funds which are out there, which are on the same category. Now, if you want to compare against them, this is a comparison chart, which is comparing Azad Wide's Capital Fund. There's a mutual fund out there that you can invest. Yes?
In the previous slide, you put the penny stock as a non-Sharia compliant.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think that the penny stock is non-Sharia?
I mean, that is fine. I'm not debating really on that. It could be compliant, it could not compliant. We're not talking about really about, I'm just giving you examples. Some things could be, there are certain people who might say the Bitcoin is not allowed. Or some people might say it is allowed. So we are not talking about that really as of now. I'm just trying to give you an example landscape, how investment, where does it sit? Our product sits within the landscape of low risk and within the landscape of Sharia compliant. That's where our product is. If you believe it, go ahead, do it, invest in. Probably, yes. Yes, as I said, it's an example. I mean, there are various people or various ulama might categorize in different ways. I'm just giving you an example. This is how I think or how we think it is. It is not to say that it is wrong or you are doing something wrong. I'm just telling you how the landscape are. Is it example? These are just list of examples. They are not really each penny stock. If you want to go in deep into it, you might find problematic, or maybe they are fine with it. No problem in that. Okay, yeah, let's put the questions towards the end. That will be better. So,
We'll take the question and answer later on. Let's go with the flow now. Otherwise, people who is putting attention, they will be distracted to that. Inshallah, we'll take the question.
Just one thing. See, when the brother is telling something, and if we have a question, if we clear that question right there, that will be very easy.
Okay, yeah, okay, inshallah, because maybe it's easy for, we have a lots of session. Let's go through all the session, then inshallah we'll take the answer. Just keep in mind, or you can put a note there, then we can do that. Because lots of other people is, they are on the one, they are going through the flow. The flow will be distracted for them, like they said, they are going to one point to another point, they're inshallah, we'll answer as much as possible, inshallah, don't worry, okay?
Just so you
Okay.
guys know, inshallah, we can continue this after the Isha as well. We really want community to get a benefit out of this. So, you know, as any other presentations, they go with the flow according to their presentation. At the end, just keep your question in your mind, and don't worry, the doors are locked. They can't go home until they answer all your questions.
And
Okay? Until you're satisfied, they can't leave.
also, we'll answer you one-to-one also, not on the podium, on the side. If any question, anybody has any single doubt about that, our compliance, the Sharia compliance, we'll mitigate that. And it's a member-oriented organization. You'll get it there, and you'll be really amazed at how our, Sheikh Rafa is our member, Imam Rafa is member, Sheikh
Abdul Rahman.
Rahman is our member. Brother Shahid is member. Also, he got the finance from us too. So lots of a familiar face you will see within the community. That. So inshallah, once we go through all the slides, it will be much clear to you. Inshallah, then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay, so coming back to the slide. So I'm trying to compare our product, which is in my understanding, our understanding is a low risk because you do not really lose money in it much, and obviously if it is low risk, then it will have a low reward also. You cannot expect 15-20% of profit margin in that, right? So if you compare what options are there in halal mutual funds which are there, which also say they are low risk type, if you compare against them, then this is the comparison. These are the source, I have listed the source out there too. So if you compare, I'm comparing Y6, which is Azad Fund, and Amana Participation Fund. These are two, they call it as fixed income funds. And if you compare against that, this is the stat, a $10,000 investment in a growth of it is going to be like over a period of I think 7 years is going to be like 15,000, 14,000 close to for us. And the slides tells you the other investments. So let's talk about why should we invest with Crescent. So again, as I said, it's a low risk investment, is as safe as putting money in a bank account. Is that safe kind of investment, right? It's great alternative to saving accounts. So within saving accounts, you do get a interest, which is basically of no use for, as a Muslim, you're not supposed to consume that. So that is kind of waste. But here you get a dividend, which you can actually get. Profit is a halal dividend that you're getting out of it. We have a healthy dividend paying record. We have been paying dividend for the last 10 years, every year. There is no management or expense fee. All the mutual funds, all the different types of investments out there, they have certain expense fund, or there is expense attached to it, the management fee that the management keeps for themselves. That's how they are in business. In our case, every penny that we get, we give it back to the community in the ratio that we received. And still it provides a better return with the similar, if you compare the similar return, similar investment type, it provides a better return.
That's why, actually, brothers, you asked one question before that, why we don't have any expenses. Because still we are working as a volunteer, we are not getting paid from, we are not taking any payment. So if you go to payment, so our ratio will be more or less. That's why, so alhamdulillah, last 12 years, we are putting our time and effort every week, every day, to give our community more return. That's why actually.
The only reason I ask, because if I am paid, then you will have 100% commitment from my side. If I am working on volunteer basis, then if I have something else which has more or high priority, I'll go there, right?
Okay, inshallah. I will just say that.
Yeah, okay, I mean, it's fine. Okay, so let's talk about our business cycle, right? How it works. So there are basically four cycles to it. There's a funding part, there's an investment part, there's collection part, and the returning part. The funding part I kind of went through now, or this is like, inshallah, if you people sign up today, there is you will invest some money, or maybe when we have like fundraisers kind of thing, events, we collect money, and there are people who invest every month. They on a recurring basis, they keep on investing $100, $1,000, depending on what they have. We collect the money. So we collect the money, all the money is collected. Then we for the investment and the collecting part, I will go through in the next slides. I will explain it through a example. And then at the end, we return all the money that we collected, the profit raised, we give it back to our investors in form of dividends. To explain the situation, to explain the second and the third one, let's think about a scenario. Scenario one, there are like two brothers, Muhammad and Ahmad, let's say. Brother Muhammad has 80,000 and Brother Ahmad has 20,000. Let's say they have this money that they have been collecting, or they collected over a period of time. They thought of buying a business. They thought of buying a house, and they are going to put it for rent, right? So this found a house, $100,000. Perfect. They have enough money. They can buy the house with cash. No bank involved, nothing. They just bought money with cash, right? Now they figured out that the rent of this house should be $1,000. And this is obviously for reference purpose, so that we can easily explain the numbers. Let's say they find a house and they think that the rent should be $1,000 because in that area, for that size of house, that school district, that many rooms, that many bathrooms, the rent should be $1,000. They did an analysis of it. Then they find a renter. Now the renter will pay the rent, right? So how much do you think Muhammad and Ahmad should get?
820.
Very good, right? Because he put 80% and the other brother put 20%. This is all good, understandable, no issues here, straightforward, all halal. Let's take a second scenario. Same thing. Brother Ahmed and Muhammad, 20,000. They find a house, 100,000. They set the rent, $1,000, right? But in this case, they change the scenario a little bit. Brother Ahmed says, hey, why instead of renting to a third person, I will live in this house. I will stay in that house. Why do we go there? It's fine with them because, they did the contract. They're going to replace him. This guy, he is a co-owner and a renter, correct? Because he also put 20,000. Now, how much should he pay to Muhammad? 800, correct? Very good. So he will pay the rent of 800,000. Again, until here, any question, any problem?
What about the property taxes and other?
Yeah, I'll come to that. Let's talk about. Let's say the rent is 1,500 and the property tax and subtracted, and 1,000 is the total amount left, right? Let's do the third scenario. Again, same thing. Owner, he says that I'm going to stay in here. They are sharing the ownership, 80-20. But in the contract, when they make the contract, they say that Brother Muhammad says, I give you that permission. Every month, you pay something extra, and you increase your ownership every month. I'm giving you that option. And until that happens, you keep on paying me the rent of the proportion that I own. So the first month, in the first month, he will pay 80% of 1K, the rent, 800 that we derived in the last scenario, and he will pay some principal, whatever that principal amount is. Let's say $1,000, $2,000, whatever he thinks that he can give, he gives towards it. Depending on how much he gives, Brother Ahmad's ratio will go up, and the Brother Muhammad's ratio will go down. So let's say after a few months, they will be 50% owner. So that's why Brother Muhammad is getting 500 only as the rent, and still Brother Ahmad is paying every month he's paying something towards the principal to keep on buying the shares of that house. One second. So, and then after a few more years, finally one day will come when Ahmad is 100%, he has paid everything. Now he doesn't have to pay any rent, correct? He owns the house 100%. He doesn't have to pay the rent. This, what you see here, is the Crescent model. If you replace Muhammad with Crescent, and if you replace Ahmad with any of the partners that we partner with, same exact model we work with. We don't do with one house, we do with like 40 different houses. Every single house we do this kind of contract. Not everyone starts with 80-20, some starts with 80, maybe 80-20, some starts with 70-30, some starts with, whatever that number is, 55-45. But that's how we do the contract. Every month you are paying rent to the portion of the ownership towards us. That profit that we collect from everyone, that rent that we are collecting from everyone, we pass it back to the investors. That is the whole model, basically. So,
Who is responsible for the insurance? I know you said you're going to come back to it.
yeah, okay. So that's a good question. So what he's saying is, brother is saying, okay, the ownership is equal, or whatever the ratio is, the expense should be equal too. That is a valid point. So what we did is, and what we said is that the owner who is living in that house is going to take care of the property tax and everything, HOA, property tax, the upkeep of the house. In return, we will not increase the rent for the next 20, 30 years, whatever that is. And the reason we do that is just to make the life easy for volunteers who is working, because a lot of paperwork. If we have 25, 35 houses to take care of, every year to go to them, do the rental agreement again, there's a lot of paperwork in doing that. And also to having to make sure that everyone is paying their stuff on time, how much we have to pay, how much not pay, that for that reason we do that. And it is fine, because when you do a rental agreement or any kind of agreement, and the two parties agree to that, if let's say if I rent you my house and I say that between 4 to 5 p.m. you will not open that window, and you agree to that, that is a contract, and that is fine with everyone, and then it is fine. So yeah, but at the same time, if you think about it, $1,000 rent, and we are fixing it for 30 years, we're not increasing the rent. Is that also?
I see there are lots of questions coming in between that. So if everybody agree, then we'll go with the question and we'll go follow. If it's okay with everyone?
Yeah, I think
On the sister side too, like a question and we'll go answer and we'll go forward. Is okay?
problem is we will forget, right?
Yeah, okay. That's right. If everybody agree, we don't have any issue. We can do that if everybody agreed on that. So if anybody has any objection, it's okay. We can go that. So, like a regarding clear question regarding who gonna pay the rent, who gonna pay the tax and everything, this and that. So, say for example, you have a house, you are renting that house to someone. Who gonna pay the rent? Who pay the tax? Who pay the insurance? Who pay the HO fee? Owner. So that's why if it is owner does that, so rent will be like that, isn't it? Owner say, hey, out of $1,000 I have to pay mortgage, I have to pay HO fee.
So they will increase the rent, simple as that. So
The rent will be, automatically rent will be like that. Depends on how much rent including that or excluding that. If it is including that, that will maybe rent will be a little bit higher. If it is exclude that, the rent will be a little bit low. Because depends on their hey. If I have a $700, I have to pay $600, I have to pay $400 HO fee, I have to pay a trash bill or anything else. If I have to do that, then of course I will say no, but brother, you have to pay me rent $1,500. I will not go with the 1,000. This is the agreement. Whatever agreement will come with, that is the agreement will come with the tenant who will be the staying in that house. This is the just agreement. Whatever agreement is that we'll negotiate the rent. If you say no, brother, not $1,500, I'll pay you $1,400. So no, this area is might be less or up rent. Depends on the area basis. So that's why rent, the amount will be depend on the area and the contract. Okay? Any other question at this point?
Yeah, the only thing is I've not seen this whole presentation. It may be wise, I don't know if you will do it. Is it possible for you to email us or on the WhatsApp group, maybe Brother Shahid can email us?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do
After that, anything, if you want any question, any slide or anything, we'll give it to you as a, whatever we can, we'll give it to you. As a member, when you become member, you have 100% right to know everything. Because each and every one is a member. Out of all this, say for example, everybody is member. 3 people are asking for the loan for that house. So they have the same right, you have the same right. With the member organization,
okay,
member has every right. Okay?
yeah, let's continue.
Continue, inshallah. Okay. Short, please.
Okay, so take a look at the same example, 80-20. Let's suppose we
Okay. Yeah, I'll question and answer that too. That's a good question though. I'll answer. Okay. So again, going back to our business cycle where we were, I explained the funding part, collecting money from the community. The investing part, that is basically doing contracts with different homeowners. Then the collecting part, that is collecting rent. And then returning part, basically whatever we collect, we return it back to our investor. That is the whole cycle that we follow. If you think about it, all the investors that we collect, we make you as a small homeowner, for we make you a landlord for the it's a if you think it from investment point of view, we make you a landlord for not one houses, but your investment is divided into like 40, 50, 60 houses, and it's a good diversification that we can provide. Okay, so coming back as the journey of an investor, if you sign up, you join as a member by making your initial investment. There is you get annual dividends based on your investment amount. Every time you add your investments, you get additional dividends as per that. Obviously, if you add your investments in June, you will get for the 6 months. If you add it in January, you get for the whole 12 months. So depending on when you join, we do the proration and then we do the dividends. You can withdraw your money as needed. There is no lock-in period. That's what I'm trying to say. As a borrower, you become a member with the initial investment. First thing, for you to borrow, you have to be a member. You apply for financing. If application is selected, we form a partnership with Crescent. When I say application selected, because we have a long line and we have to do a ranking process basically and we have a limited source of money. It's not that we are getting source, we are connected to some bank and we are getting money from them. The money is raised from the community. It's not. We have absolutely nothing to do with any bank as such. Only thing, obviously, we have a checking account where we do the transactions, but we don't really partner with any bank in sense of getting money from them or any, Fannie Mae or any of those stuff. So, so because of limitation of fund, we have to do a ranking. We cannot do everyone at one time. So we have to do a ranking process, and we form a partnership. If you are in the rank 1, you pay your rent in proportion of the home of your ownership every month. We do the ownership calculation every single month. Every single month, your ownership will be calculated depending on how much you paid towards the principal. And then, over a period of time, you keep on paying it. Same thing keeps on going on, and then, inshallah, one day you are completely out of it. Let's talk about where are we now in terms of how many members we have. We have, I think this slide is a little old, but this is like, we are close to like 490 members now. Total investment we collected is like 5 million. We financed 43 houses so far, alhamdulillah. Out of that 43, I think 14 or 15 are already paid off, like 100% they are out of it, riba, and out of basically the home financing. We collected so far over a period of like 10, 12 years, 731,000 in rent. The average profit over the last 5 years is around 3.76%. This is before taxes. And then total withdrawals, that is an important number, because what we want to focus is that the money that you are putting in, it's not that we are just locking it and saying that, okay, your money is locked in for 30 years because this brother is not paid it. You can withdraw your money depending on whenever you need it. So our organization is kind of, as I was saying before, it is like a bank when your money is kind of that safe, but it's not really a bank, but you get the benefit of that safety. This is our profit percentage breakdown for the last few years. And if I want to now compare the Crescent versus traditional loan, so let's talk about it. There is interest-free financing. There is no money for money involvement. Everything is asset-based. The asset is the house that we are actually getting and actually, if you think about it, it's not even a loan. It's basically a partnership. It's a partnership. And that is the Arabic word for it is called musharika. That is the model that we follow. And again, this is not something that we invented out of the blue. It is not that we came up with this brilliant idea nobody else thought of it. This is actually quite widely followed in many, in UK, in Canada, and in Malaysia, they follow it. There are 3-4 different models. Musharaka one I think suits the best because it's easy to explain and easy to do the contracting for it. As I was saying, there's no involvement of any financial institution. We don't take money from any of the banks to fund the projects. The risk is shared between the partners, Crescent and the homeowner. Now coming back to your point, when you said the house can go up and down in both cases, it can go up or down. So what we have do is what our contract says is that if, let's say you started 80-20 and let's say it's like 50-50 now after a few years, and you have to, basically you're not able to pay and you are kind of selling the house as foreclosure, whatever that is. If it is a profit, if we bought the house for 100,000, it is 150,000. If it is a profit, then we will do at that date, whatever the whatever that date is, whatever the ownership is that at that time, you will keep the profit. We just keep our money in. But if it is a loss, then we will share the loss depending again on that ownership level at that point in time. No, absolutely not.
So how is it different with the traditional one? Because if you are only interested in your money you invested, like take a look at that 100,000 K, and the price goes up to the 200,000 K, and initially your investment is at 80 K, my investment is at 20 K, and you said that if I'm going to sell it's at 200 K, so now you are only interested in the 80 K, and I can take 120 K. So this is what you said. So it means that you are only interested on the money, not on the asset. So it is a money-based thing, not an asset-based thing. How is it different
No.
than the traditional one?
No, because what we are saying is that because in a partnership, the loss and that is Islamic model, right? The loss and the profit goes hand in hand, we go together. In fact, if you think about it, it's actually, we are not saying if you sell for profit, we will take the profit, your profit. We are saying you can keep the profit. So that is a different thing. I mean, you should do it, you should not do it. That is a.
Otherwise, in my eyes, it is based on the money, not based on the assets.
Well, it is based on the asset we calculate. When you said 200,000, how did you come up with the 200,000 number? It is based on that asset, right? The value of the house.
Assalamu alaikum. Let me explain to you. The house you live in next 30 years, who take care of the house? You're going to take care of your house. You have to paint or whatever you have to do. You have to change the carpet. You have to do all kind of upkeeping your house. That's why you are investing extra money day and night like other regular house. You take loan from the bank or something. That's why we don't take any profit. It's a UN between me. I don't have to take the profit. It's not mandatory to take the profit. Profit is not mandatory to take. Our finance is asset based. While we are putting our money, that is an asset, not on the paper. So that's why we betted with all the scholar, cross the board, Imam Majid, in our scholar, outside the scholar, we betted with everyone. The extra money, the profit, if the house goes up, and that some point you said, no, I don't like to continue anymore, then if you sell the house or something, we have a right not to take the profit. Because we usually do that. Because why you do that? There's a reason that people who is taking care of the house, he has a dream on that house. Whole life has a dream to be a house, and that house price value went up, and because of he's always keeping that house good. If it is, let's say for example, that person can make that house a trash. He said, oh, well, let's make it trash, block all the drain line and everything. This house will go loss. I'll get benefited because they will share the loss. That's why we talked with all the sheikhs. There's no single doubt about that we have to take a profit from the house. No. So that's why we don't take the profit. This is our system. If you think about something else, that's up to you. But we waited with all the scholars, crossed the board to the all over the America, and we invested house in 43 houses. We invested in Virginia, Maryland, New York, Pennsylvania, Chicago, lots of places we already invested. So far, Alhamdulillah, there's no doubt about any Sharia, out of the Sharia in our compliance. Jazakallah. Next question. Anybody, okay.
No, we're not that big.
So,
Inshallah, but one day, but yeah, not now. Yes.
yeah.
Whatever
Same.
that is, 80, 20, 30,
Same
30,
like
70,
that. This
whatever that is.
brother Khattab, Alhamdulillah, he bought a house from the builder, okay? And he paid, by the way, maybe he told you or not, we don't invest more than 80%. The Crescent does not invest more than 80%. At least someone who comes here, they have a value of the house or equity has to be 20%, or have to new house, if you have to bring to the British brother bring more than 20% when he bought the house from the builder, and he came to us. Alhamdulillah, we invested. We gave the money to the builder. Because we go through all the legal process to the title company and everything. We do everything. We don't do anything which is not legal. And only thing is that our finance, the money coming from where, that is the thing we are trying to spread the message. Hey, we are not selling your contact to the Fedibank or Fenimac or anybody else. And you have as a member, you have every right to know what we are doing on our each and activity. If anything is wrong, you can always come to us and we can discuss and do that, because you are part of that. You are a member of the organization. You are electing. We go through the election process. You can elect someone who is on your community or whatever. You can be here today also. Once you will be, each and every one person will be a spokesman of this organization. That's why we want to build a community. It is not like that. If you go to any other organization, even Islamic or non-Islamic, I don't want to go there. But you cannot invest. Like say, for example, guidance. Can you invest to the guidance? No. Can you invest to the Islamic University Finance? No, you cannot invest there. Here, you can invest your savings, whatever savings you have, you can invest here, and you'll get the, alhamdulillah, more than you are getting from savings account. You'll get more than profit, more than that. That's the idea, to build a community. We like to bring everybody together here. Especially we started from Adams area, so alhamdulillah we have a big number already. We have close to 500 member. Is growing really fast, inshallah. By blessing of you guys, blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make you guys a dua, inshallah.
Let me finish the slide. I've got only 3-4 slides left, and then we can take the questions. That's fine. Okay. So I lost my thoughts. Okay. So we are talking about risk sharing. There is lower cost in the sense that the closing costs and all, if you compare with any of the financing that you do with any bank or anything, you will see that the closing costs are much lower. And the second thing is that everything is based on rental market. We don't really care about what the market looks like. It doesn't have to be. And so I will give you an example that, let's say if you take 200,000 from us for any of same ratio, let's say 180-20, the ratio example giving you. But let's say if that house is in Manhattan, then rent will be higher, so our profit will be higher. If that same house in Western Virginia, the rent will be lower and our profit will be lower. So it is not really tagged at all to what the mortgage market looks like, what percentage they are giving for 30-year fixed loan. It's nothing to do with it. It's based by that locality, what the rental market is in that case, in that area. There's full financial transparency. You can, when we do the agreement, you can sit with us. We can show you how the math is being done, how your rent was calculated, what kind of metrics were used to do it. And also, like as a member, if you want to figure out, like if you say that, how did you guys come up with 3.76%, we can show that. We don't have any problem with that. The ownership increments every monthly. Every month we are going to reduce our, depending on how much principal you gave, our ownership will be reducing. So next month you will be paying lesser rent. And there is a compassionate partnership. What I was trying to say is that, in other organizations, let's say if you are not able to pay 1 month, next month, they might, give you a late fee or whatever that is. We don't have any late fee, anything like that. And also during COVID time, we had cases like that. We did not get a rent from one brother for it's been 15th or 16th of the month. We called to figure out what is happening. He said that he is in hospital. So, we worked with him to figure out what can be done to at least get the rent part only, or maybe even, do something, work with him so that he is not in a hardship and we are not saying, okay, no foreclosure now, khalas, get out. So there is a compassionate partnership there as any Islamic financing should be, ideally. Why should one be a Crescent member? Is that to establish a true Islamic finance model, especially in the Western world. We as a consumer, when we demand for something, it shows up. For example, Nike started hijab is sportswear, right? Or if you go in any airlines, they have this halal food option. When we as a consumer ask for it, we don't want to run this organization. It's not like our thing that we are getting money from it. The idea is that if we can establish something, make it so big, and someday I will be happy if some bigger bank buys us and they take over the model and they work with it. It's fine with us. But the idea is that to grow this kind of option, which is out there, which is feasible. There are 43 houses. I know it's a very smaller percentage, but still there are houses which are working fine. And my house is that one example. So if it is a model that can work, it is a model that has worked in UK, it has worked in Canada, why not here? I mean, it's a free country, it should work. So this is something that you can start. It's a grassroots level effort. It's a community source funding for the community benefit. Money is again not coming from any bank, it's from you guys here, and inshallah one of you guys here will be financed for the house. And the investors get both of the best world. With the investment that you have sitting in your bank account, which is basically earning interest, no use for you. But if you invest with us, you get a dividend out of it. When you are investing with us, it's not a charity, but inshallah the other should be like a charity because you are helping someone get out of riba. That is the goal. We are also diversifying your investments in a way, where as I said, when you give your money to us, it's not that we are going to use this money to buy only this person's house. Your money is basically spread out into 40 different houses. So in a way, you are getting a good diversification. Even if that, let's say, per person is not paying rent, we are not going to tell you, okay, that person is not paying rent, so you're not getting any profit. You are still getting profit out of the 42 other houses that is invested. So it's a good diversification for your investments. And best thing, you don't have to do any property management stuff. Absolutely, you don't have to go change the bulb or anything like that. There's nothing on you you are also a homeowner, because when you're investing, you are indirectly a homeowner of that 40 different houses, but you don't have to really do any of the management part of it. So you get a good benefit there. For investors, whoever wants to invest, you have to have a valid SSN to be a member. There is a $100 non-refundable application fee. Dividends are paid out annually in January every year. There is no capital gains tax on the earnings like any investments, but there is a 1099 div that we will issue that you will have to basically work with your tax preparer to take care of the taxes. There is no investment lock-in period. When you invest, you can take your money, potentially you can take money out next month, there's no problem in there. There is a minimum investment of $2,400 to become a full member. What I mean is full member is that if you are at $2,400 if you have put in, then that $2,400 will start getting you dividends. And also it will make you eligible to apply for financing, right? The next day you can apply for financing. But let's say there are certain people who don't have enough money, they start with say 1,000, we don't pay them dividend. But there are very, very few like that, maybe like 4 or 5 of them, I think. Most of them start with at least minimum 2,400. That's all my slide. We are back to Q&A. Yes, sir, go ahead. No, you brothers have a question. No, no, sir, go.
This brother raised hand before that.
Okay, go.
Okay, hello, Islam. So, so one thing is that, sorry, go ahead with that. I have forgot that one. Welcome, Islam. Oh, okay. When we come to the contact, you are saying, suppose you are taking $80,000 from us, the brothers put the slide, 80-20, okay? So the out of the rent, so you are borrowing from us $80,000. And we'll say, hey, your rent is that, how much you going to pay extra towards the principal, the money you borrow from us? How long will it take? Is 10, 15 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? We come with the contract. Whatever the brother wants, we'll go by that. 20, 30, maximum 30 years we go on that contract that, hey, if you 30 years you pay, maybe out of that $800, maybe you have to pay $980 every month to pay off your whole amount, whatever you took is for us, that will might say 30. Whatever you want, we go by that ratio. And another good thing is that if you even pay without telling us, if you pay any extra dollar payment, that will go to your principal. If you can pay extra, always most welcome. Our out of 43 house already 16 of them already paid off. Alhamdulillah, they are paying every month extra $100, $200, something like that. They paid off their house. We're going to pay it off this month. As another sister, she's paying off this month, inshallah. Only it's the last payment she's going to pay. So this is a flexible agreement, whatever, how many years you want, mostly.
So yeah, you can pay off early. If that's the short. In short, if you pay off, that doesn't have to be contract. You can pay off early.
Okay, these brothers, yes.
No, he let him. He had a follow-up question.
Follow-up question. So, no, second, please.
He's saying if the renter is not able to pay in 30 years, what happens in that?
If you don't able to pay in 30 years, what will be the consequence, or is that? We go by the agreement. If you have any issue, if you cannot pay on time or you get more than 30 years, and if it's a reasonable excuse, we agree with that. Say, for example, your brother borrow money from you. And he said, he told you that he's going to pay you back within 1 month. And after 1 month, he said, brother, sorry, I don't have, I thought I'm going to pay you back within a month. I couldn't do that. So what you can do? You're going to say, slap him, or you just, what are you going to do? So you have to take him to the court. As a Muslim, we try, as that's what I said, we have a compassionate, we try to come with the problem, that what problem they are going through. He has any issue or something. One of our member, he died, may Allah give him Jannah. So now we are doing everything with his wife, so everything. So that's why we try to listen to the person what they're going through. We just not only that, the financial notion, we try to help them. Hey, if you have any issue, you have a zakat issue or something, go to the Adams, go to that. Sometimes we also go, somebody has lost the job, we try to help them. Hey, go there, maybe you'll get the job, this and that. It's a community build-up. We are trying to, each and everyone, we are trying to get out from the riba. That is our thought. That's why we are investing only to the primary house. We don't invest in the secondary house or rental house or investment house, because we are trying to get out from riba ourselves first. We don't worry about, if you have an investment house, that's your problem. But we like to get this brother who or sister who is actually in primary house, deep into the interest. We like to bring her or him up from that. That is our primary thing.
About that question.
Another question, do you collect profit on the principal? Or is your profit is only from the rent?
We
Let's say if I'm buying your part of the property, right? Do you make profit or do you buy that?
we take the rental. What is the rent? That is our profit.
There's no profit on me buying
No,
No.
you are just
So
paying back. That's
we
it.
are just rent. It's a rental portion of that. We just take the rent. And also another thing, let me say, like you brother, you are taking $100,000, and he's also taking $100,000. You might live in the downtown, or he might live in suburb. So even same amount you're taking, same time, but maybe your payment and his payment might be different. It's not like if you call us, hey, how much your rental rate? No, we don't have. We have to go through the area, and we have to analyze the exact rent of your house as far we can.
And my question was about the equity piece, so that there's no profit on equity. I have one other question. So if I invest money, like you already have members, right? Do you dilute the house equity? Does it get diluted, or the pie keeps increasing and everyone gets a smaller percentage?
If you don't invest right away, yes, it will get dilute. But so
Like in a venture capital, when you bring in new people, you have to dilute
no. So that's the thing. If we let's say if we start collecting money, and maybe let's say we are doing the session and we collected 5 people, 6 people member, and we have like 100,000 right there, and we already had 200,000. So we will start to right away look for the next house and try to do their investment right away. So it does not sit long. I mean, anyways, you get the money, you start with the next house. You do the, and people are in the line anyway, so it's not going to
In
be.
the pipeline, we always have a application who wants to get the finance. So day before yesterday, we closed one house in Maryland. So we are inshallah going to close within within a week or two. We're going to close another house. Inshallah, we are working on it. That's it is. Okay. What? No. You guys look for a house. We are not looking. You have.
That's why I asked when the process. So I'm gonna be looking for a house. See the house here is 500. Okay. Then do I need to start the application with you to be approved? Then look for the houses, or I look the house first.
It's a brother. It's the same process you go through the regular basis. You have to have a real estate agent, this and that, to look for the house. Only when you need the finance, don't go to the Bank of America. You come to us, brother, can you finance me from you? I am a member of the organization. Can I get a finance from you? You will be in the line and you queue on the queue that. All other process is the same like a regular basis, nothing else. Instead of that, this brother, sir.
So my question is, since you will be the owner in the house, how does the probate will work? If somebody dies, how does the legal issue work? Have you read it?
Yes, we have one brother who died, and his wife is actually taking care of that everything. He say, what is the law of the land? We follow that. It is nothing, law of the land, we follow law of the land. Just, there's a different thing. We'll discuss, there's a probate is different. We'll go, if you have anything, we can explain later on that. Okay.
So you just mentioned an example that one people invest in January, one people invest in June, and the money they are getting, you use the word dividend. I'm not explicitly using the word dividend. I'm using the word the money they are getting is different. That is technically not a dividend as per the stock market. The stock market, there is an ex-dividend date when you are investing only one day before you will get the full money, whether you have one day or for the whole time. What you are saying, it is for the fixed income, the
You're wrong. No, no, no. Hold on. No, listen. I have finance background. I work in Wall Street. I work for investment bank. I was vice president of big corporation. So I know this stuff. Okay. So the question is, no, let me finish it with him. So the concept of dividend is the profit you make on the investment you make. So the dividend could be of various type. You can have dividend in your real estate, you can have your dividend in selling car, you can dividend in so many different things. This is not a stock. The stock, this is privately held LLC, limited liability company. So when it comes to limited liability company, they are the concept of the so-called that dividend, and this is different. You know, that's one thing. Second thing, we must very clearly make you understand that our source of fund is primary, totally from the members. We do not have any secondary, funding like Guidance does, right? So Guidance borrows money from FEDIMAC, and then they basically, they have created a secondary layer. They call it as operating company, and before that they have they call holding company. Holding company borrows money from the FEDIMAC, and they pay regular interest, right? So right there, there's an issue there. But we do not go to the secondary. So our source of fund and distribution of fund is totally, doesn't have to deal anything with interest. And coming back to your question, that because the typical, profit or dividend or the stock dividend and so on and so forth, those are completely different chapter, and we do not deal with it. We are a small membership or operated and owned company. Source of fund comes from the individual members. The profit is generated from our investment, and the profit is prorated based on the time he or she has invested in them.
I understand. That is why I use the word money. Because dividend has a different meaning. I have the answer in the phone.
You don't have to go there. I know what dividend is.
Before the ex-dividend, you purchase the stock, you got the full dividend.
No, hold on. I don't have to, I know better than your Google. I live that. I have worked 35 years in financial industry in this country. I worked in Wall Street for 25 years. So I know this stuff.
I work in Bloomberg.
Okay, but which? No, that's not the issue. That's not the issue. The issue here, the model of a stock and Bloomberg, it does not apply here.
Yes, that's why I call it is not dividend. You don't call it dividend.
Okay,
No, it is dividend.
Okay, that is fine, brother. You can just say
profit.
don't call it dividend, call it profit, and we'll be happy with it.
Remember, I call it the money we are getting, not the dividend we are getting.
Okay, fine. It's money. The profit, is profit a good amount? Good.
Profit can be construed as a dividend.
So, okay, sister has a question.
I have a question, but we have a limited time, so the side talk can go after you guys finish. We need the question, the answer, and then the argument will be.
Okay. So, yes, thank you,
the
sister.
brother
Thank you,
has question
sister. We'll stop certain point here.
We said up to
And after that, if anybody has any question, always I'll talk that. We'll try to answer you guys. And even we cannot do right now, maybe we can, anytime you email us or any question you have, anything, I can do that. I said, each and every Imam, Sheikh Hatem Yusuf and other, everybody actually with us. So they say, we tried our best. We are within the community. I am one of the board member of Adams, lots of people. Anyway, that's not, I don't want to go there. But we are within the community people. It's not came from outside and selling something. No. That's why I said we are still working as a volunteer. Brother Shahid also member with us for more than 10 years, I believe so, and he's also took the finance from us. Each and every one, so we 4 or 5 people is putting money in the one bucket and giving to the one guy who is, yeah. That's a very simple process, nothing it. What is the profit is getting, everybody is getting part of pie of that. A very simple thing, nothing is a, it's a
Okay,
cooperative,
answer this
okay.
Brother, you said that you guys collected $5 million.
What?
$5 million you guys collected, right?
Uh-huh,
And bought 43 houses,
uh-huh.
right? So that means each house is approximately around 116,000. So where do you get 116,000 worth of house? Because median house is approximately
So let me
350.
So when we say,
Other funding.
yeah, of course, the person is putting a down payment, right? So it is not like, it is not
No,
necessary
listen,
20%.
listen.
It is not necessary 20%.
We most of them we did refinancing, okay? Even we invested $50,000, $40,000 also. It is not like a, yeah, we are doing it for last 12 years. We did the refinancing. We are not able to do the new house that way. So, okay, so that's why you might think yes, but think about that, 16 people already paid off out of that. So that's why it is not, we are highest invested we did is $460,000 so far, okay? So it is 460 to 40K also. Is one brother, he's about 80 years old. He just before he's said, hey, before I die, I like to get out of from the riba. He had only $40,000 loan, and he came to us and we financed them. So people, we are trying to keep out from the riba each and every one we can. You know, that's our thing. Most of them have out of 43 house, I think so, 40 houses refinance. Maybe. Refinance, that means you have already loan. No, you already had a house. You already own the house. That house, you took the loan from Bank of America, okay? You have now that house, maybe 100,000 loan. Okay, remaining on that house, 100,000 remaining on your house. So he said, hey brother, I like to get a loan from you. Okay, we pay the 100,000 to the Bank of America, you come to the us and we are dealing with you, rental basis. Okay, next question.
Yes, brothers.
Walaikum Salam.
Yeah, so first, I appreciate your effort to provide an alternative solution. So the question is about monthly payment. I think you mentioned several things about it. So you said it was one fixed monthly payment for the whole time of the financing, right? No, okay, it's not. So if you can just clarify actually how, or give more information about how the monthly payment is calculated. Does it depend on like how long it will take to reimburse?
I think so I told before that how years you want to pay off that money borrowing. It might be 15 years, it might be 20 years. On a month, that basis, on that basis, when you are paying the principal towards principal, that's the way we calculate monthly basis. Like if you pay, say for example, you are borrowing $80,000 and you want to pay in 30 years. Say for calculation, 30 years, if you pay off that $80,000 back to us, it might, your payment will be like a $560 something monthly on the basis of 30,000 calculation. Okay?
So the rent is basically, I don't know if you're there when I show the example. So every month you are paying the rent in proportion of the ownership. That is understood, right? Plus whatever you think is that extra you can pay. Okay, understood, right?
Talking about the rent part, like how do you define the rent part?
Oh, how do we define the rent? Oh, so we look at the area, and if it's Ashburn, maybe it's a little expensive, so the rent will go higher. We look at, neighboring houses, 3-4 houses, we do an average on that. Sometimes we also have another tool, which is kind of paid tool that kind of gives us an estimate of the rent. We use that, and then we sit on the negotiation table with you.
No,
Yeah, the rent amount is fixed for the next 20-30 years. So it's based on the market.
based
at that
on the
time.
market fair, we said fair market rental value. We take the average of like maybe 10 houses, same square footage, same maybe bathroom, same room, same on this area. Accordingly, we fix the rent.
So this rent is fixed and it's the same rent even if I say I'm going to pay the principal
Correct.
in 10 years,
Yes,
20
yes.
years, the rent part is going to be
Yeah, the rent is fixed, and the reason why we do that is because of the fact that what we are agreeing to that in the part of the contract is that we are making you responsible to pay for the property tax, to upkeep of the house, for the the HOA stuff, and this is an agreement that we are saying. We are saying, in lieu of that, we are not going to increase your rent. I mean, we can any rental agreement every year the rent agreement changes, right? And the reason we did that is because it just makes the paperwork and stuff easy for us. Otherwise, it's a big headache to manage 40, 50 houses.
Usually, if you regular like a rent and a landlord after 2-3 years after contract, they renovate the house, they do this one, that one. That's why they invest further to get the higher rent. But on these cases, you have to feel like it's your own house. All the upkeeping of the house, changing the carpet or painting, whatever you like to do, you're up to you, like a regular house you buy. So that's why we don't increase the rent or we change the rent within the contract, or rent will be same for next end of the contract.
She has a question, and the sister has a question.
Sisters.
Yes, so let
Okay, sister?
Let's say I have $5,000 or $10,000 I need to invest. At the end of the year, there is no fixed interest. But what is the profit, or let's say, what approximately, what do I
Okay.
3.5% to 4%, around that range.
Three-
So we see it is not a fixed, it changes every year depending on how much rent we collected. But the average so far we have 7, I was showing it was 3.76%. But in that range, 3.5 to 4, somewhere in that range, that is the profit percentage. Yes, brother.
So if it's a musharaka where I said
Share.
start off me owning 20% and you guys owning 80%, as I increase more share of the house, should the rent not also change depending on the share?
The rent amount, let's say the rent amount we said is $1,000 per month rent, that amount is not changing, but the rent that you are paying to us, the first month you're going to pay only $800, next month you'll pay $790, next month you'll pay $780, depending on the ratio. It's simple.
Do you have anything to protect against some sort of like bank run where people want their money back and you can't provide that all at one time? People want to pull out their money.
All of them want to put at one time?
Yes, we can give the money. Alhamdulillah, actually this year, we paid over $2.5 million back. Lots of brother in our community, we don't like to put the name. Alhamdulillah, they are investing with us, sometimes big amount, sometimes small amount. We take even somebody, if you open an account for the kids, every month $100, we take that money too. We like to put everyone, bring together everyone. We like to raise the community. That's our vision is. Like if someone has $1,000, they can also invest. It's not like I have $1 million, I'll not, only the $1 million people will take. No, that's why it's a grassroots level people, each and everyone can invest to that.
Yes, so that's a good point, and I think that's
Hold on.
something which...
We have a stream of income. It's not that money you gave is stuck up there. It's like a big ball, right? So we have 3 sources of income, or rather cash flow. One is the regular people are becoming member, so putting more money. Existing member are also putting money. Then we are getting from the borrower 2 types of flow of income. One is the profit part, another part is the principal part. So all this money is in the same bucket. So if you want to pull out your 20,000 or 30,000, it's not no big deal.
No, he is saying everyone at one time,
Oh,
all 400 people take the money. That's what you're saying, right? All 400.
No. See, the thing is, it's based on your intention. People invest here to develop a financial institution which basically is serving the community and totally Sharia compliant. So if somebody, gang up against us, that's a dark scenario. It didn't happen in 14 years, and the member have their heart in it here. This organization is not for making big money. This organization is motivation is somewhere else. This is basically focusing akhirah. This is focusing actually akhirah. But Islam is a complete code of life. There you have to have the financial institutions. Unfortunately, we don't have that many financial institutions. This is the driving force that we have created it. So that's I think I was able to, answer your question.
We will take only 2 more questions. Almost time for Salah. So is any sister, I will prefer sister. Any sister has any question? By the way, if anybody has a question, I'll prefer to the sister first. And we have a membership form, or you can go to website and apply for that. Inshallah, we don't came here to any kind of fundraising or anything. Or even member, we cannot take anything right now. If anybody wants to be a member, pay money today, we cannot take it. If you interested, come to our office, come to our website, and this and that, we can do that. 2 more questions within a minute. Anybody has didn't question before his, anybody has, they didn't ask any question, I'll pay for that person first. Okay. Okay, go ahead, brother, sorry. Yes. Yes, each and every member has every right to get that bottom of everything. Everything, that's why it's a full transparency for the member, not outside the member, okay? Member has every right to know everything, and if you have any question, any doubt, anything, always, because we are the member to you're the member. Here, maybe I'm talking from here today, maybe next year you'll talk from here. So that's the way we want. We like to bring the new generation, they're coming. We started first, brother came first, young fellow, so mid-30s or something. so
By
that's the way.
We meet every Saturday in. Yes, yeah, we can show that. Yeah, we can show
Yes,
that.
we can.
And what I was trying to say, add on to that, is that if you want to also meet, more in person, have a talk, we meet every Saturday in Reston. Come. Just I think 2 weeks ago, there was one brother. He came. He sat with us. We went basically through this presentation, and he liked the program, right? So there are people like that. Every other week they come like that. So it's common. Those are open to public meetings. You can even sit with us and listen to the discussion that we are having, and get a feel of it, how the product is.
We'll take the last question.
The brother.
Brother. Yes, we have some SOP. We follow those through the SOP, how we do that, how we select that next person, 1, 2, 3 ranking. We do all kind of thing with some process. If you are a member, always you can come and look at that and how we do that. We've set a system that, alhamdulillah, is working. Okay, inshallah, if you have any question, you can always email us, info@crescentcoop.com, so that. And let's see, somebody make dua for the...
No,
Safe. Lots of, I don't want to mention the name, lots of brother in this community is member of that, but I don't like to, spot him here right now.
Sister has last question, I think.
Oh, sister has a question, sorry.
One last question. Just tell us
Crescent is only, Crescent is the beauty is